It gives me terrific pleasure to have this group come to Victoria for us to perform a extremely rare and unusual style of puppet theater. Many of you who know about Japan know that it's a country rich in different forms of puppetry. And of course, the most famous is the Bunraku puppet, the large puppets with the three manipulators. And it's rightly famous for its artistry. Now, we're not going to be seeing Bunraku, but we're going to be seeing something similar to Bunraku and technically perhaps even more sophisticated than the Bunraku to some degree, because what Bunraku does with three people will be done with one single puppeteer. Puppeteer? Puppeteer! I'm forgetting my English. Anyway, so one single puppeteer, and it's called Kuruma Ningyo, and Kuruma, if you know any Japanese, you know that it means a car or a cart. And this guy sits on a little sort of device that looks like a go-kart or something like that. And he does everything that the three people do with the one single manipulator or puppeteer. So this is something that I've never seen in the wood before, not the flesh, but the wood. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is a really rare chance. I'm sure most of you will never see its like again. And the evening is divided in three parts, but before I say more about that, I want to thank the people who brought it to us today. First of all, the Consulate General of Japan, who has coordinated this part of the international tour by Hachioji Kuruma Ningyo Troupe. And the Japan Foundation, who were instrumental also in coordinating the troupe. And I would like also to put in a plug, of course, for my own home department, the Department of Pacific and Asian Studies, for bringing me here to talk to you. And the sponsorship of the Center for Asia Pacific Initiatives and the Victoria Nikkei Cultural Society for their support and coordination as well. And as the program says, special thanks to Bert. Okay, who's Bert? Okay, it's not Bert and Ernie. This Bert is Bert Timmermans at the Phoenix Theater, who at the last minute saved us by coming to the rescue with risers that we see here. This will be the dais on which the chanter and the shamisen will perform. And while I'm here, I also want to put in a plug for something completely different. This is something that the Victoria Nikkei Cultural Society has been involved in, a very important and worthy work, the fruition of much research. It's a history of the Japanese-Canadian community, the very first Japanese-Canadian community in Canada, which was here in Victoria, and of course, as many of you know, they were all driven out in, well, just a couple of weeks, a week or so back to the day we commemorated the 70th anniversary of the forced eviction of the Japanese from Victoria. And this is a book about the history of the Japanese Canadians in the city from as early as the middle of the 19th century up until 1942. So that book is on sale, courtesy of the Japanese Canadian Cultural Society, and this gentleman over here, he's got the books if you want to pick up one for $25. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Consul Isono, who is here from Victoria, from the Consulate General of Japan. He is the Consul for Cultural Affairs, and he has been the man who has been pulling the strings, so to speak, from this end.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking time to come to the Hachioji Kuruma Ningyo lecture and workshop. Hachioji Kuruma Ningyo is a form of puppet theater created by Nishikawa Koryu the first, nearly 150 years ago, in the late Edo Period. It is called Kuruma Ningyo because the puppeteer sits on the small seat with roller wheels when operating a puppet. This small seat and the fact that only one person is needed to operate each puppet distinguished Kuruma Ningyo from Bunraku, another form of traditional Japanese puppetry in which 3 people are needed to operate each puppet. For more than 50 years, Nishikawa Koryu the fifth had been performing regularly throughout Japan and in many foreign countries. Tonight, we will hold a DVD lecture about Bunraku by Dr. Michiko Hirama. Our Gidayu workshop by Takemoto Koshiko and Tsuruzawa Sansuzu, and puppet workshop on Hachioji Kuruma Ningyo by Nishikawa Koryu the fifth. I'm sure that their lecture and workshop will both delight audiences and foster greater understanding of the Japanese culture. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Center for Asia Pacific Initiative, University of Victoria, and Victoria Nikkei Cultural Society for supporting today's event. In closing, let me express my best wishes for this event to be a truly great success. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michiko Hirama. I am a doctor in musicology. Before our presentation, I will give a small explanation about Bunraku. Bunraku is the origin of the Hachioji Kuruma Ningyo. Bunraku is a traditional puppet theater of Japan that emerged in the late 17th century. It is a union of 3 art forms, in which the taiyu or chanter narrates a story to musical accompaniment provided by a string instrument player. While on stage, hips or puppeteers make the roles perform in parallel with the words of the chanted story. Each of the 3 elements that make up Bunraku, the narration or chanter, the string music, and the puppetry, have undergone their own individual refinements over hundreds of years. The final result being the Bunraku puppet drama we know today, one of the most highly sophisticated and artistic forms of puppet performance in the world. Let me explain about the musical aspect. Bunraku drama develops through the narration delivered as a chant. And the chanter's mission is to animate an expressionless doll made of wood through the Gidayu music. The chanter or taiyu not only recites the dialogues for all the characters, but also relates the spectacle of the scene and explains the backgrounds of the event taking place. Plays may take up to 90 minutes, and the number of characters can vary from only a few to around 15. Thus, only the single chanter who performs them all, young or old, male or female, warriors or townspeople in different ways. It's appropriate to the character, not an easy task, I'm sure. And you will see. Moreover, the chanter's main objective is to express the actual emotions of each of the characters. Someone who listens to a chanter for the first time might feel visited by waves of exaggerated emotion, but that itself is the uniquely expressive power of Hideyobushi music, of Hideyobushi's music, to give the audience a strong impression of the character's personality. Even if the story is about something that took place in the distant past, our basic humanness and human emotions are very carefully portrayed. And even today's young performers can elicit the same responses from the audience. Now, about the instrument. The shamisen, whose name means three strings, is one of the most popular and typical Japanese traditional instruments. Originally imported into Japan from Southeast Asia in the late 16th century, the Japanese shamisen substituted Kyarodowski as covering for its resonator in place of snake skin, which was difficult to acquire in the mainland of Japan. The three strings are usually made of silk, and they are played with a plectrum. In Bunraku, the largest and lowest pitch type of shamisen is used because Bunraku turning requires singing from the lower avenue. And this variety of shamisen produces a very powerful timbre. Unlike other styles of accompaniment, the shamisen used in Hideyobushi music must play the strings of the heart. Just as the chanter, when reciting, places more importance in expressing the feeling of the story than musically. It is important for the string player to also feel his or her play with the heart of the piece, and to assist the chanter in his or her recitation. The ideal is that the shamisen player must become one in spirit with the chanter. Unlike recitation, which is expressed through words, shamisen play requires extremely difficult techniques to express human emotion through a thin tonal color. That is why even a first-time theater goer who listens to a shamisen master cannot help but come away filled with emotion. Next is about categories of plays. Works in the Bunraku repertory can be divided into two categories. Jidaimono is the first one, which means historical plays. Jidaimono. And sewamono, which means current event plays. The standard historical plays about historical plays were inspired by well-known historical events and includes appearances by many famous persons. On the other hand, current event play, this one, deal with contemporary stories, taking as their subject the lives of ordinary people in Russian society. For example, one famous playwright wrote a story based on an incident that had actually happened in the city of Osaka, just only 1 month before the play's production. In the wake of the sensational interest in the story and the sympathy of ordinary people for its protagonists, the play became a major success. That all the current event plays nearly all concern love or status suicide, murders, or vendettas, and are based on real life incidents. The conflict between social obligation, giri, and human feelings, ninjo, found in this category of plays greatly moved the audiences of their time and became a central theme for Bunraku. Historical plays, however, also continued to be popular and became more sophisticated as audience came to expect the same psychological depth found in the current event plays. Thus, the contrast between these two different categories, this Jidai-mono and Sewa-mono, could provide great satisfaction to the people of the Edo period. They could travel in a fantasy world with famous or godlike superheroes in the historical plays, and find soothing realism in the escape from real life of the moment. At the same time, they felt empathy with the characters of current event plays that reminded them of similar situations. The last part is about puppeteers. Bunraku puppets are different from other puppets found elsewhere, in that three puppeteers are needed to manipulate each story. One, the omozukai, the puppeteer, operates the doll's head and face with his left hand, only his left hand, and the doll's right hand with his right hand. The hidarizukoi or left hand puppeteer uses his right hand to operate the doll's left hand. It's a complication because the puppeteer uses his right hand to manipulate the left hand of the puppet. And the ashizukai, the last one, or foot puppeteer uses both hands to suggest the movements of the doll's legs and feet. Thus, if these three puppeteers do not work together in perfect harmony, the puppet's motions will seem unnatural and disconnected, and the doll will never seem to come to life. The left hand of the head puppeteer, which supports the weight of the heavy doll, is like the puppet's spine, and it is through his left hand that the breath of life is first imbued into the puppet. In order to help the left hand puppeteer maintain a more comfortable position, the head puppeteer wears a special footwear known as stage clogs, or elevated clogs, or hopefully something. It's very high heel sandal. A large doll can be as much as 1.5 meters tall, while a smaller one is around 1.3 meters tall. So the height of the elevated clogs used can vary from 20 to 40 or 50 centimeters, depending upon the size of the doll. Among other things, training as a puppeteer begins with the feet, then the left hand, and finally proceeds to control of the head. Such a long period of study was required that in older time the saying went 10 years for the feet, the 10 years for the left hand, and finally reach the fifth. It's a time to close my explanation. Thank you very much, and welcome to the museum. Thank you.
I'm the Gidayu, or chanter, or narrator for this evening's performance. And my companion here playing the shamisen is Tsuruzawa Sansuzu.
先ほどのお話の中でいろいろ義太夫のことが触れてありましたので、皆様にもお分かりになったと思いますが、義太夫は、日本を、代表する、伝統音楽の一つでございます。
So, as you heard from Professor Hirano's introduction, a little bit about the art of the Gidayu. Gidayu is one of Japan's traditional narrative musical arts.
それで、大変に、ドラマチックで、それから、エネルギッシュで、そして演劇性に富んだ音楽というのが特徴でございます。
So, first, with the premise that this is a form of music, we need to understand that it's very dramatic, it's very energetic, and it's highly theatrical as well.
本来は男性の芸能で、ございまして、従いまして、人形浄瑠璃文楽も、それから歌舞伎も、にも、義太夫が、入っていますが、その中に私たち女性の義太夫の演奏家が入ることは今に至って許されておりません。
So, traditionally, this was an art that was created by male performers and found its way into the art of puppetry in what we know as the Bunraku puppet or Ningyo Joruri form of puppet theater, as well as into the kabuki, which is adapted a large repertoire of plays from the puppet theater. And so traditionally, women were not allowed to perform this style of music.
しかしながら女性の義太夫も200数十年の歴史を持ちまして、その日は灯されつつ今に至って私どもは継承しています。
However, there were women who did perform this style of music, and the tradition of women performing Gidayu goes back more than 200 years.
人形浄瑠璃にも歌舞伎にも属せない私たちが、独自な演奏活動をしてまいりました。それは、このように芯が歌の部分とそれから三味線一人ずつこの2人で一つの、音楽作品 してドラマを作っていくという素性類という形が女流女の義太夫はずっと守られております。
So women were not allowed to perform in the puppet theater or in the kabuki. In fact, women were banned from the public stage early in the 17th century. But to the extent that women performed this style of narrative recitation, this style of music, it was done without the aid of puppets or without the aid of human actors, as an artistic form unto itself. And it was called sujoruri, or so pure joruri. And women continue to perform this form of art with the aid of actors or puppets for over 200 years.
それでちょっとお道具の説明をしていきたいと思います。
So I'm going to explain first the props that we're using here.
まず、枝の太夫の方で使う道具ですが、これ分解してあるんですが、これを剣台と申しまして、本を置く台でございます。
This is called a kendai. This black lacquered box-like thing in front of you is called a kendai. It is the stand for the libretto, or the book, the text, from which the Gidayu recites.
どうして高さをこれから少し高いものを作っていきますが、なんでこの高さが必要かと言いますと、このような、お尻にこういうものをかけます。そうすると、これではちょっと遠いんですね。それで少し高さを作らなくちゃならないんです。
So she's taken the stand apart, but she'll put the stand together, and you'll see that the stand is quite high, sits up quite high. And the reason for that is because the Gidayu actually sits on this kind of little stool that raises her backside up. And so that actually enables her to read the text more easily from the angle and the height that she is sitting.
でこれは分解してその中に箱の中に引き出しがございまして、その中にこういうものが分解したものが入るようになって携帯できるようになっております。
So there's actually some drawers in the box which enable one to take apart the stand and fold it up and place it in the base of the stand itself so that it can be easily carried around.
この度は本当は義太夫の剣台はもっと大きく厚く、重たくできているんですけど、こちらに伺うのに、なかなか持って歩くのが10キロ以上あるので重たいので、少し軽量の簡易剣台を用意してまいりました。
So the kendai stand that you see here is a lighter version of what is more normally used. The usual version of the kendai is quite larger and heavier, weighs more than 10 kilos. So it's not something that you want to lug around with you on an international tour.
それからこれが腹巻きといって、長いさらしで作った切れでございます。
This is called a haramaki, which is a belly band. It's made of cotton, and it's wrapped around the lower abdomen.
これは実はこの上から巻くのではなくて、直に肌につけるので、今日はお見せするわけがいかない。それで別なものを1本持ってまいりましたので、これを見ていただきたいと思います。だいぶ長いものでございます。
So you can see it's quite long, and the reason why she was demonstrating that wrap it around like that is to show you what it looks like. In fact, it's actually worn under the clothing. She's not going to strip for you. So she brought an extra one to show.
これは左右だけのみではなく、三味線したものを実は巻いております。
Yes, and the shamisen player also is wearing one.
すべてがいろんなものはお腹に力を入れる意識を持つための道具となっています。
And this is the purpose of the haramaki is actually to to focus one's center of gravity in the lower abdomen to give oneself power for the recitation of the voice. You'll realize when she does a demonstration of the actual Gidayu recitation, what an incredibly powerful voice she has. And the same can be said for the shamisen player as well. And the haramaki actually helps to create the guts of the performance.
それから最後に本ですが、これは、ずっとこう読んでいるわけではないのですが、やはり本というものは語る人間にとって必要で大切なものなので、このような床本、舞台で使う本を床本と申します。これは自分で今はなかなか売ってませんので、太夫が自分で見ながら本を作ります。このような時代になって。
So this is the libretto. It's called a yukahon. And as you can see, for any kind of recitative art, having a text is important. It's the sort of the basis of the performance, and all gidayu have texts like this, and they're hard to come by these days. And so it's customary for the chanters, the gidayu, to handwrite their own texts. So they have their own manuscripts of the libretti that they use. And now I'll tell you a little bit about the shamisen. 'So this is an instrument that came into Japan about 400 some years ago, from originally Southeast Asia via Okinawa. Yeah.
この義太夫の三味線というのは、日本には三味線がいろいろたくさんの種類がありますが、その中でも一番太くて、竿が太くて、そして、大きい、重たいタイプで、音も低いです。
So there are all sorts of different kinds of shamisens that are employed for different kinds of music in Japan. And what you see, the one that's used for the puppeteer is the largest, the heaviest. It's got the thickest neck and the largest body, and produces a deep and resonant sound.
バチというのを使いますが、この、バチの重さも非常に重い。そして厚みがあります。
The plectrum is called a bachi, and you can see that comparative to other styles of shamisen, the plectrum used in the shamisen for the puppeteer is also very large and quite heavy. It's made often of ivory. So that's about 300 grams in her hand right there. That's almost a pound, right? 3/4 of a pound, almost. So and the shamisen weighs about 3 kilos.
太夫が浄瑠璃を義太夫はドラマを語りますので、三味線弾きも同じようにドラマを弾きます。
So the gidayu performs dramatically. She is the narrator of the drama, and likewise the performer of the shamisen also has to perform drama in her music as well.
ドラマにはたくさんのキャラクターがあって、そのキャラクターを太夫が、語り分けますので、たくさんのキャラクターを一人で語り分けますので、三味線弾きもたくさんのキャラクター、男と女、年寄りと例えば若い人とか侍と町の人、町人というのを引き分けます。三味線弾きも。
So because this is drama, the chanter is performing all of the different characters in the story that's being told. Men and women, old and young, samurai, commoners, people of different classes, walks of life. And likewise, well, the chanter will use her voice to distinguish all of these different characters that she's performing. And likewise, the shamisen will indicate all of those character differences in the playing of the shamisen itself. So she'll give a little demonstration for you. So this is enter a samurai. So that's Akechi Mitsuhide coming in. Next I'm going to do a young girl making her entrance. That was the lady in waiting, Okaru, making her entrance.
これを三味線弾きが間違って弾いてしまうと、変な風になります。
So you can imagine if the shamisen started playing the entrance of a samurai for a young lady, that things would go wrong very quickly. Okaru was coming in bow-legged, like John Wayne or something.
でお時間もありませんので、実は、私たち演奏するときには、装束をつけます。肩に侍がよくつける。よくつける。男性の上下をつけるのですが、本当はつけて、舞台に上がってこれも全部作ってそれで2人でつけて幕が上がって演奏というここから、事前に、今日は皆様に、つけるところを公開させていただくと思っておりまして持ってまいりました。
So now she's going to show you the costume that the Gidayu and shamisen player play in. And this is what they wear over the black Monsuki kimonos that you see them in now. This is the kind of costume that the male Gidayu and shamisen musicians would also wear. Normally you would not see, this is a special demonstration for you guys to see the chanter and the musician get dressed up like this. Normally what would happen is the curtain would come up and they would already be in this resplendent costume with this sort of the big shoulder of the haori that they kind of wear. Kamishimo they call it. Particular kind of ceremonial costume with the skirts and the haori kind of shoulder-like jacket on top of the kimono. So this is how they would appear in this form with the kendai, the stand there, as the curtain would open.
これは、男性の、ご覧の通り、男性の、第一礼装となっております。これは女性もつけるのが義太夫の女流義太夫のみに許されております。
So this particular kamishimo costume that you see them wearing here, the only time that women would wear a costume like this, because this is a male costume, generally speaking, is when women are performing this form of hidayu. So.
これをつけるときは、大体、一さん自分の師匠の、つけさせていただく、それから姉弟子、のつけるということから始まりますので、今日は2人しかおりませんので、お互いつけ合ってやりますが、目上の人のをつけて覚えていくということから。
So, normally the Hidayu and shamisen player would be dressed in this costume before the performance by their masters, by their teachers. Since this is kind of a special occasion, we're addressing each other, but that's not normally the way we would do it.
全く上から下まで、下着から、何から何まで全部男性の、衣装、こしらえてでやります。
So right down to the underwear, this is a completely male costume. From the under kimono to the kamishimo on top. This is a male costume.
ということで、演奏をかからせていただきたいと思います。
So now we're in our full regalia. We would like to give a short performance for you. This is from Act 3 of the Treasury of the Loyal 47 Roni, Kanade Hon Chushinbura. And as you see, we have subtitles or surtitles here so that you can follow along.
全でいずるはまだ間もあらん。もとより不和取り出し、水前手前の家来が聞こえを私をしくれよ。すなわち奥雲よ方より参りし、私も受け取る。なるほど、なるほど。いや、その元のごない方は、さて心がけがござる。手前が若の道に心をよするを聞き、添削を頼むとある。定めてそのことならん。しひろき。その木戸に重きな上のさよごろむ。我が妻ならぬ妻な重ねそう。新古今の歌、この子神添削とは、年四のうち、我が恋のかなわぬ印、さては夫に打ち分けし、と。おいかりを触らぬ顔。あがん殿、この歌、ごろじたでござろうよ。ただいま見ました。手前が読むの。秋殿の奥方はきつい定女でござる。ちょっと使わされる歌がこれじゃ。妻ならぬ妻な重ねそう。定女定女。物事はあやかにもの途上の備わるはずのこと、うちにばかり今についてござるによって御前の方はおかまいないじゃ。あてをするぞもかまむ。あちらの喧嘩の門違いとは判断さないがてとせしな。いつもらしゃった。いや、いつの見ました。ごしくだされてものまいでも勤むるところはきっとつと。貴公はなぜ遅かったの。おしまいたか。いや、うちにへばりついてござったか。貴殿より若さの助殿、隔月務められます。いや、またその元の奥方は定女といいご器量と申し、主席は見事。ご自慢なされ、ご自慢なされ、むっとなされな嘘ではないわさ。日御前にはお取り込み、手前とてもどうぜその中へあらげらし。いや、これは手前が僕が歌でござる。それほどうちが大切ならおいでご ある工学のため聞いてもかつてさあこの本めがわずか三尺八尺の井の淵を天にも地にもないように思うて普段外も見ることがないところにかの井戸がゆに鶴瓶について拝みます。それも川へ放ちやると何がうちにばかりいるやつじゃによって喜んでどうもしない。あちらへはうろうろこちらへはうろうろあげくには橋向いで花を持って即座にピリピリピリピリピリと死にまする。そこの船がさあもちょうどその船と同じことだ。船よ船だ船だ船つぶらいだ天中の
So last but not least, we coming into the third part and last part of our program, and this is where we get to meet the puppet and the puppeteer. Nishikawa Koryu is the 5th generation of puppeteers to hold that name, and he follows in a direct line from these unique form of puppetry that was established in the middle of the 19th century. So without further ado, I would like to invite Nishikawa Koryu the 5th on the stage. Thank you very much.
先ほど見ていただきましたそれが大体約300年ぐらい前ですが、この車人形が生まれたのが約150年ぐらい前ということになります。
So the Bunraku puppet theater that is performed with puppets and 3 manipulators, 3 puppeteers, dates back to some 300 years ago. The Kuruma Ningyo, the style of puppetry that Nishikawa-san performs, dates back to about 160 years ago.
この車人形の元々はやはり3人使いでした。
Originally, it was like the Bunraku. It was performed with 3 puppeteers.
それが実はこの江戸にあった3人使いの人形芝居がいろんな芸能に押されて実はなくなってしまいます。
And that form had came into contact with various other forms of performance and fell out of use.
そこで実はその新しい使い方が生まれたのがこの形になります。
And this was an innovation on the Sannin-Zikai, the 3 puppeteer type of Bunraku puppet that was devised some 160 years ago at the end of the Edo period.
3人使いさんは足を使う人、それから左手を使う人、右の顔と右手を使う人で一体に人形を動かします。
As was explained earlier, the 3 puppeteers had a division of responsibilities. The lowest of the 3 was the one who manipulated the 2 feet. The second in command would have been the person who did the left hand, and the omozukai, the main puppeteer, would be the one who did the head and the right hand.
それを一人で使うために実はこういう車が生まれます。
So, in order to perform all of the work of 3 puppeteers, this little device was created.
ちょっと裏をこう見てみますと、車が3輪ついております。
As you see, it's kind of a tricycle. It has 3 wheels.
前が2輪で後ろが1輪という三輪車になっています。
So there are 2 wheels in the front and a larger wheel in the back.
これはですね、車をこう前に進めるために前が2輪でまっすぐ前に進める。
So it's devised to go straight ahead. You see the 2
後
wheels.
ろが1輪ですから、実はこう車を回転させるために後ろが1輪になる。
And the larger wheel at the back is devised so that it won't just go forward, but can go back and forth and turn around.
この上に人形使いが乗って人形を扱うんです。
And the puppeteer sits on that.
こういうふうに乗っていきます。ちょうど人形の大きさが大体1メーター10センチから20センチぐらいなんですよ。
So the puppets that the puppeteer performs with is about a meter and 20 centimeters, 1.2 meters high, which is about the size of where he's sitting here.
通常は立って人形を使うんですけども、その足をですね、実は自分の足につけて使うように作られています。
So normally, with the 3 puppet performers, they perform standing. But with the Kuruma Ningyo, he actually attaches the feet to his own feet, as he's going to demonstrate now.
こういうふうに足の指に挟んで自分の足で人形を使っています。
So he's wearing these white Japanese tabi socks with the cleft toe, so that he can stick the heels of the puppet's feet in between the big toe and the index toe.
人形を後ろからこう持つとですね、人形は小さいのでこういう形になってしまう。
So because the puppet is smaller, he has to kind of crouch down. Yeah.
大変辛いですので、こう座って人形を使うとすごくこう使える。
And because that pose is very difficult to maintain, this little seat with wheels on it was devised.
誰かに乗っていただきましょう。
Anybody want to come and sit on this? How about one of the puppeteers? One of you guys? Come on.
でも
Don't
子
be
供
shy.
さんがいる。誰かいます。子供さんは、じゃあ。 ではちょっとこれに座っていただいてもいいですか。あ、靴を脱いでもらう。
You have to take your shoes off. Yeah. We need those toes. Yeah.
もう輪がついてるのが前ですね。このまま座ります。
Okay. Yeah.
で、この紐で実は縛っている。で、この横でしっかり縛ります。
Okay. So you're strapped in with these ropes, from front and back.
で、これをしっかり縛らないとポケットに車が外れてしまいます。
Yeah. If it's not tied tightly, then you wobble.
ではちょっと足を挟んでもらいましょう。
Okay. So he's now going to attach the feet.
こちらをこういうふうにこう人間の足を自分の足で使ってちょっとこうぐるっと歩いてもらって。
So just try.
ぐるっとこう回りましょう。
Yeah, just take a tour around the stage.
で、今度は人間の手です。
Okay, now I'll show you the hands or the arms of the doll.
その左手使いさんの部分が実はこう長くなっています。
So the left arm is actually a little bit longer than the right one.
右はそのまま三人使いさんと同じでこう上を引くと手がこう。
So there's a little toggle switch there that allows you to open and close the hand and work the wrist and the joints and the fingers.
左手がちょっとここにこう出っ張ってるフックがついてる。
And on the left arm here, you see there's this piece of wood that's sticking out at the end.
これを親指で持ち上げますと左手が上がります。
And so if you press that, then the left hand will go up.
ここにこう輪がついてます。これを右の手首にこう。
And there's a loop there to put your hand in.
とこう曲がるように。
Pull it and you see the elbow.
こうすると両方の手がこう使えます。
This is how.
ここに人間の顔も一緒に持ちます。
So you have to imagine that in the middle is, of course, the head of the doll, yeah? Which is held up in the left hand together with the manipulation of the left arm.
ここに今ちょっと人間の顔を出してみましょう。
So I'll show you.
大体この顔が130、40年ぐらい前の。
So this particular head dates back to about 130, 140 years old. Yeah.
で、この髪の毛はやはり人間の髪の毛。
And the hair that's used for the doll's wig is human hair.
We are sometimes cutting. 左手で人形のその顔をこう喜怒哀楽、要は喜びや悲しみをこう表現している。
So you can express all of the emotions of the human face through the manipulation, various different toggle switches in the doll there.
で、前がこううなずくという線がありまして、こう。
And there's a cord there that you can pull, which raises and lowers the head.
ちょっと後ろにこう引く線が引いていきますとこう、ね。
And there's another cord there that opens and closes the eyelids.
左手を後ろでこうクロスするように使って。
So you see how he holds in his left hand both the head and the left arm of the doll, cradled on the crook of his fingers there.
足を使って上半身をこうやって一緒に使って。
And so the single performer can manipulate every limb and head as well of the doll.
人間はどこで生きているように見えるかというと、この目の線とこの指の線をきちんとこう合わせていくと、人間がこう生きているように見える。
So what gives the doll life or realism is the focus of the eyes and the hand. So when the eyes and the hand movements are coordinated, then it seems as if the doll is alive.
こういうふうに指して、物を指して、こう人ですとこう立っていると彼にこう話ができる。
So when the eyes and the hands, the eyes go where the hands point, the eyes follow what the hands do, then you have that sense of a living creature.
これはもしこの目線が合ってなかったら。
And
物を何をしているか。
so if the gaze is not directed where the hands are, then the movements become uncoordinated and meaningless. They don't jive, and you don't know what is supposed to be expressed. Okay, so now she's going to show us. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Now, the right hand.
でこういうふうになるとこうで必要でない時にはこれをこう下ろしてでは、そうですね素敵だなと思う人を指していただきましょうね。
is point at somebody that you really like.
ですから車人形はですね、実は最大の欠点がある。
And there is one flaw to this, the major flaw to this style of doll.
実は右手ではいろんな表現ができる。左手で表現をするためには上下と左右しか動かない。
Okay, so the major flaw to this kind of doll is, although the right hand can express many different things, the left hand is rather awkward. It has, it's quite limited in the type of movements that it can do. So that's the drawback of this style of puppetry.
もう一つ、この右手で物を持つことは実はここに指をこう入れるとできる。
So you see that the right hand, in order to actually pick up props, objects, you can put your hand through that little loop in the wrist and help the doll to pick up various things.
左手で物を持つことは絶対できない。
But it's impossible to do that with the left arm.
ですからもし必要な時にはその後見さんという形で誰かが入ってフォローしていく。
And there you get a stage assistant, somebody called a koken or a kurogo, I guess, to come in and help to move around pops on behalf of the doll.
では彼女に最後にですね、左手で物を指してですね、お辞儀をしていただきます。
Okay, so finally I would like you, madam, to point at something or somebody with the left hand and do a little bow.
で、ついでにご人形の顔を
So the head of the puppet needs to go in the direction of the Yeah. You're very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. 日高川のお芝居の一編ですけども、そこをちょっと皆さんに見ていただきたい。これは人形使いは一言も喋りません。
So finally, we would like to show you an excerpt from the play Hidakagawa, or the River Hidaka. And I just wanted to note to you that the puppeteer never says a word. The puppeteer is always silent.
最高の語りと最高の音楽がついているので、私が語る必要がない。
So I don't need to say anything because I have such terrific artists here with the Hidayu chanter and the shamisen.
ですから人形を使うことに集中ができるのがこの良さです。
So that allows me to focus exclusively on the art of puppetry.
ちょっと近くさせていただきます。
So now I'll just do a little bit of preparation to get ready for this performance with the three of us. So please bear with me. Now, while they're getting ready, I'll tell you a little bit about the play that they're going to perform. Hidakagawa, or Hidaka River, is a puppet play version of a quite famous story. Here we see a little kind of post, and it says here, Hidakagawa. That's the name of the river, in case you forget. And this is a story that's well known to the Japanese through various versions. First of all, there was a legend And the legend concerns a woman who fell in love with a priest. The priest was making a pilgrimage to a place called Kumano, south of Osaka, and along the way he had this one-night tryst with a woman. In some versions she was a widow, in some versions she was just a young girl. Mostly in the later versions she's a young girl. He sleeps with her this one night, and then he leaves her, and she said he promises that when he goes off to Kumano and does his pilgrimage, he'll come back to her. And so he leaves with various different promises of something a little bit better than a one-night stand from a monk. Well, when he doesn't come back, the girl, her name was Kiyohime, Princess Pure, I guess you call her, she gets awfully mad at him. And finally, when he shows up, she kind of chases after him. She finds out that this guy has holed up at this temple. It's called Dojoji. It's a real temple. I've been there a couple of times. The interesting thing about Dojoji is that there is no belfry at Dojoji. That's because Princess Pure cooked the monk inside the bell that was being consecrated, and the monk hid in there, and she turned into this nasty, nasty serpent, wrapped herself around the bell, and cooked him like a convection oven. So, hell has no fury as a woman scorned. It's a universal tale. This legend spawned many different versions. It obviously lent itself to theatrical treatment. It became a famous no play, one of the technically the most difficult no plays to perform. And from No, it was adapted into the puppet theater and kabuki as well, such that that's one of the late and most spectacular dance plays of the kabuki repertoire is a play that is a version of this story as well. So without further ado, I think the three artists are now ready to perform this excerpt of the play Hidakagawa. Hidaka River is the river that's very close to the temple Dojoji, and this is very close to the end of the play where she expresses a variety of emotions for us, and you will see the heart of this woman unfold before our very eyes.
恥かかされなんとながらえいらようぞいのようとても父上のご意見ごもっともとは思えども女は一度我が妻と思い込んだらいかなことたとえ地獄に落ちるともかわいいという意味では離れるましてさつきのやもれみそめしその日を愛し るとても憎しとうのは一年の